Good morning, dear students. Welcome to science class. I hope you are safe and fine. In previous class, we have discussed about the infectious diseases and non-infectious diseases, or we can say that communicable and non-communicable diseases, and the infectious agents, the different infectious agents. Today, we will discuss about the means of spread of diseases. As infectious diseases are also called the communicable diseases because they can spread from infected person to healthy person. The means of spread of these diseases are different for different pathogens. Number one is direct transmission, means the disease causing microorganisms, or we can say them pathogens, are transmitted from infected person to healthy person directly in different ways. They are, number one is physical contact, right? So they can be directly transmitted by the physical contact. If we touch a person, an infected person, then we get the pathogens. And the pathogens of diseases like chickenpox, smallpox, ringworm, etc. are spread through physical contact. Another is by sexual contact, as infectious diseases such as syphilis, gonorrhea, and AIDS are transmitted by sexual contact from one person to the another, or from one partner to the another. And another is contact with soil. Many pathogens can enter the human body from soil through injuries and animal bites. Communicable diseases can also spread through the animal bites. For example, the rabies virus enter the human body by the bite of rabid dogs or monkey to cause rabies. These are the direct transmission ways. Directly the pathogen enter to the healthy person. Another is indirect transmission. So indirect transmission is by through air. Means indirect means it involves spread of pathogen through some intermediate agents like air, water. So through air, infectious microbes that causes common cold, tuberculosis, pneumonia, etc. can spread through air from infected person, right? Another is through water. So many infectious diseases can also spread through intake of contaminated water or food also, like cholera, causing microbes enter new host through the water. So if we take contaminated water, so cholera may cause. Other waterborne diseases like the amoebiasis or amoebic, dysentery and hepatitis B. These are some diseases which are caused by the contaminated water. Through vectors. Many animals living with us carry the infecting agents from an infected person to the potential host. And these animals act as an intermediate and are termed as vectors. So they are called vectors. The vectors are therefore the carrier of the disease causing pathogens. And the most common factors are the insects like the house flies, mosquitoes, as we see that the Anopheles mosquito causes malaria, Aedes mosquitoes causes yellow fever or dengue. Flies like house flies especially causes typhoid, dysenteries, cholera. So these type of diseases which is spread through the insects, or they are called the vectors. Now organ specific and tissue specific manifestation. as the human being is a organism which have many organs and tissues. So the microbes can enter in any particular organ and may stay and causes diseases. So different species of disease causing microbes have evolved to move and reach to various parts of the body, and they stay there and causes a particular type of disease. For examples, microbes if microbes enter with air through nose, they have likely to go to the lungs, right? And they causes, for example, bacteria which causes tuberculosis of lungs. Similarly, microbes which enter through the mouth are likely to stay in the gut. Bacteria which causes typhoid, or they stay on the liver, which causes jaundice. Now viruses that causes HIV infection, they enter the body through sexual organ during sexual contact and tends to spread to lymph nodes throughout the body. And another, like the virus which causes Japanese elephantiasis, that is called the brain fever, also enter the body through mosquito bites and goes and infect the brain totally. So these are the microorganisms which enter in our body and affect a particular organ and causes diseases. So they are called organ specific or tissue specific. Principle of treatments. The treatment of infectious disease consists of two steps. First one is to reduce the effect of the disease, right? And another is to kill the microbes which causes the diseases. So reducing means this can be done by taking medicines to bring down the effect of the disease. Like we can take medicine to bring down the fever, the pain or loose motion, etc. And by taking bed rest to conserve our energy. So in this way we can reduce the effect of the disease. Another way is to kill the microbes, means we can take a particular medicine to kill a particular microbes. As we know that there are different type of microorganisms, virus, bacteria, protozoa. So we take that particular medicine which kills particular microbe, or we can say antibiotics. In this way we can kill the microbes and disease can be cured. So these are the two principles of treatment. Now, principles of prevention. How can we prevent? As we know that prevention of diseases is considered far better than their cure, right? So preventing measures are precautionary steps taken to check the transmission of infectious diseases. There are further of two ways of prevention. One is the general ways, means by general awareness towards the hygiene and eradication of vectors by providing clean environment. Means if our environment is clean, then there is a less chance of disease spreading of disease, right? So eradication of vectors means removal of the vectors from the environment and giving a clean environment. Another general way is sterilization, isolation, and most important is the education of people and availability of proper and sufficient food to everyone. So these are some general ways by which we can prevent from the diseases. Another is specific ways. Specific means particular. By use of vaccines to develop immunity in people against the infectious disease, means the particular vaccine is given for a particular microorganisms to inhibit the growth of that particular microorganism. So in this way, we can prevent from diseases. Vaccination means it is a technique to develop immunity in individuals without infection. So as we know that there are different type of vaccines are available now, like for preventing from tetanus, diphtheria, polio, hepatitis, cholera, tuberculosis, and so on. So this is the specific ways of prevention.